Good morning. It is 9:06 a.m. on Saturday, December 24th, 2016, Christmas Eve. I'm Christiana Ellis, and I've been up a little bit, getting ready, taking a shower, so on and so forth. And this is 5 more minutes. So, I wanted to go ahead and make sure that I was all ready just because various activities are going to start today. I'm still here at my dad's house, and we're going to have kind of an open house brunch that's for family and neighbors. And, so there's going to be some food here and hang out a little bit, and it's more of an informal sort of thing where people are going to come and go. And, uh, and then after that, I'm heading back over to my mom's house for the remainder of Christmas Eve, stay the night, and come back to my dad's house tomorrow. Got to balance these things, right? And it's good. It's the holiday, right? It's all the preparation has led to this. Um, if you celebrate Christmas, or if it's just the holiday season generally for you, I hope that you're somewhere that you can be with other people who you care about. Um, and it's just a time of year that a lot of people reflect on those things. What's really important to you, and I think it's good. Not that you shouldn't kind of always be aware of what's important to you, but it's good to have a time of year that's kind of there's an extra emphasis on that. But of course, it's also not a new story. The idea that sometimes we can become so preoccupied with all the trappings, so to speak, or if you're preparing an event or something, you have to make sure everything's just right and it's actually stressful rather than joyous. And that's something everybody has to kind of watch out for. And of course, there's the commercialism aspect, but I feel like I don't hear about that as much anymore. Maybe if I was buying presents for a lot of kids or something. Um, but yeah, and it's this holiday time of year, and so um, if you celebrate it, then I wish you Merry Christmas. I mean, I'll have a video tomorrow too, but and if you don't, then I hope that at the very least, whichever holiday you celebrate, or if you don't celebrate any, then it's just the holiday season. Um, I hope that you have a good time. um, because I mean, I think that there's a lot of different ways to celebrate holidays. You know what I mean? Even if they don't necessarily have the religious significance to you, you can still have your own traditions and rituals associated with them. Whether it's like, oh, my family, we always go to a movie on Christmas Day, or, oh, we always get Chinese food, or, any of those. I mean, but I think one of the things that holidays really drive home is that tradition and ritual are kind of hardwired into us. The things become meaningful simply through their repetition, even if they weren't necessarily that meaningful to begin with, because I don't know, like without getting too sentimental on it and kind of getting a little geeky, I've always been fascinated with how our brains are constantly at war, not at war, in a tug of war with wanting familiarity and wanting novelty. And sometimes you want one and sometimes you want the other. Sometimes you want both. Sometimes it's you don't know exactly what you want because you have two competing drives in your head. You want to try something new, but that's a little scary. So you stay with what you know and what's safe. But if you do that all the time, it starts to get boring and over familiar, and and then you want to explore something new. So this balance of wanting to hold to traditions, but also to explore new worlds and you know foods and books and movies and people and places. Uh, exploring all of that, I feel like those two, the duality of those two things is almost, I don't know, it feels like it kind of defines humanity in a way. Um, I mean, it's a little oversimplistic to get too metaphysical with it, um, but yeah. Anyway, uh, so I hope that as we are on Christmas Eve now, and as we move on to Christmas Day and the holiday season in general, um, I hope that your holiday season is just the right mix of the familiar and the novel. I'll talk to you tomorrow for 5 more minutes.